All right, what's up everybody? So today I wanted to go through my gym bag and go through everything that I have in it, how much I like it, and then how much I use each thing. So we're just gonna be rolling through it. First of all, this is what I have. It's Six Pack Fitness, donated to me from my awesome sister-in-law. Pretty nice bag. You can use whatever you want. I used to use an old baseball bag. Old school bags work great. Duffel bags work great. But pretty much anything that can just hold your stuff, keep it organized, go for it. All right, so starting off, let's just pop the sucker open. Okay, one of my favorites. I use these a lot. These are Versa Grips Pro. And now these go on your wrists and they're padded. They have leather. You can wrap them around different bars and things. And these are my favorite grips. So in terms of straps to use whenever doing specific lifts, pulling lifts especially, obviously, these are by far my favorite. I'd give these a 9 out of 10. I'd probably use them. I use them a lot. Maybe definitely every pull day. Don't use them on every pull exercise, otherwise you will never build grip strength. But other than that, great, I love them. But following that up, I've got two other types of straps. So I have, these are Gym Reapers brand. Oh, by the way, $80. Got them for Christmas, so free to me. That's steep. You may want to go with one of these other two I bring up, because these are cheaper to get into it if you're kind of newer to lifting, and they do pretty much the same thing. But once you get the cash, the capital, these are the gold standard. I love these. All right, next I have Gym Reapers. These are called figure 8 straps. They go around your wrist, and then they wrap around the bar, and then they go around your wrist again. I love these. These are great. I don't use them very often, but they do a really good job and they're easy to wrap up. So Versa Grips, fastest to wrap up. Second fastest, Gym Reapers figure 8s. So you can use whatever brand figure 8s. These are only like 20 bucks. And then next you have, so these are regular straps. This one's set up and this one's not. This one just goes on your wrist like so. And then you just wrap it around the bar a few times. Harder to get on certain lifts, certain bars. These are harder to set up. These are probably the cheapest. I think probably $15 for this Road brand. They work great, super good daily drivers. I love them for deadlifts or something like that, because once you get them on, they're not coming off, but they're harder to set up. So if you're going for a high row where you're going up here, it's hard to get them wrapped up there because you can only go up that high for that long. So they get kind of difficult. I also have in this bag, I have hand wraps for like boxing. They're good. I got them for Christmas, again, from just a family friend. I like them, but you really don't need to get these unless you're getting into boxing and stuff like that. I was for a little bit, and I was hurting my hands, punching stuff all the time. And so I looked like I was getting in fights because I was hurting my hand. But you don't really need to get these unless you're getting into it. I like them, and these are, I don't even know what brand these are, but they're pretty good, and I like them, so I could recommend them, but only if you're getting into that. There's no reason to get these whenever you're starting. Also, in this bag, I have a Rogue belt. I love my belt. I used to use it more. I used to be more into squatting and deadlifting, and I pretty much would only use it on my squat, just because you really need the bracing on that. I've been getting back into squatting, so it's been getting more use. For a while, it sat dormant in my bag, sadly, because of back injuries and such things, which this can help prevent it. So, 10 out of 10 pretty much. And if you get this, like, this is one of the first things to get, but you have to figure out how to brace your trunk before you get this, or else you'll just injure yourself. Like, it's totally, like, just figure out how to lift and then get this, and then get it to help yourself whenever you get into higher weights. All right, we also have, next thing, all right, this is important. Deodorant. Far too many of you walking around in these gyms do not have deodorant on, and I do not like that one bit. I don't use this that often. Well, I use this pretty often, but I don't go to my emergency deodorant in my bag that often. But you have to have it, okay? This is a non-negotiable. If you're in the gym, you have to have a deodorant. I also usually carry a cologne, don't have it on me, but you need to be able to smell good in the gym, or otherwise this is all for naught. Like, being stinky in the gym is just a crime against humanity, okay? We're all sweating, we all know we're sweating. Sometimes you may have a little to you, but this is gonna fight it off most of the time, and just please do it. Also not pictured is a charger for your phone. Mine's MIA, but you have to have a charger for your phone. You don't have to, but I really like having a charger for my phone, you know, portable charger or regular charger, because I mean, it's how you have your music most of the time, because gym music sucks in the actual gym. It's how you can track your sets and your reps. It's how you can look at form, especially if you're newer in the gym. Having a phone charger is nice, just it's a backup. It's nice to have. Also in here, I don't really use these very often. Chapstick, you can have them. I mean, I have Chapstick on me at all times, so I don't need my backups in my gym bag, but it's good to have. Going into audio, AirPods Pro, these are the Gen 3s. I have those, and then I have Sony WH-1000 XM5s. All right, so these are good for different reasons. AirPods, I use more often nowadays, because I got newer ones and I'm like, wow, these are pretty good. It's good to have noise cancellation, and these both have transparency. These are good if you really want to lock in, because people don't talk to you if you have these on, but people will talk to you if you have these in. So if you're feeling social, boom, keep these on adaptive. You're listening to music, jamming out, talking to people. With these, you kind of have to, like, I'll kind of take my headphones off and be like, yo, hey, like, I want to talk to people if I have my headphones off. I really like these, but they make me get hot quicker. So I start sweating quicker, and they're not as much fun because of that. So AirPods are nice because they keep me cool. So if I'm doing cardio or whatever, pretty much always these. Especially with these, sometimes whenever I'm sweating around the ear, I'll have like acne back here because it's like just like sweat and grimy, and nobody wants that. So I love these. If you're gonna get gym headphones, get these or the XM4s. Love them, but probably not necessary. AirPods are great. I mean, you could get bone conduction, you can get out of ear ones, like the ones that go around the beats. There's a lot of different ones. Headphones, great. 10 out of 10, get headphones. Love them. All right, and we have, oh, here, these are good. What do we have here? We have, let's see, these are inside out. We have, this is Iron Bull, which I'm pretty sure is the Rocks brand. Knee sleeves, love knee sleeves. One of the first things I actually got in my gym bag. They're great for specific things. I like them because they keep heat in my knees. So even if I'm not doing a pressing movement, say leg press or squats, you can use them even on like leg extension, and it keeps heat in your knees and kind of keeps them feeling better. Do not become over reliant on these. They can become a crutch if you always use them. With a lot of these things, if you use them all the time, you'll be hurting yourself more than helping yourself. So use them sparingly, use them when you need them. And if you start to feel, knee pain, don't use this to cover it up. But it's also good to not always feel limited because, oh, my knees are cold, but I'm not going to use these because I don't want to become reliant on them. That's no good way of doing it. But find your happy medium. I recommend these. 8 out of 10 probably. Following those up, these are very much so less necessary. These are also Iron Bull elbow sleeves. Elbow sleeves, I love them. I used to wear them more often. I became reliant on them. So I was really working on my bench over a Christmas break. I was benching like 4 times a week. Don't do that. If you're newer, you can do it obviously, but typically 4 times a week is kind of excessive. I was making good progress because I was a little bit newer, and I was hurting my elbows. And then I was doing tricep push downs and other stuff heavy, and it was wearing out my elbows. And these help to keep the warmth in them, and they don't overinflate your bench too much, because elbow wraps, I don't even have those. They will overinflate your numbers. Same thing with knee wraps. They will overinflate your numbers, and 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, you do not need wraps. But sleeves are good. Keep your joints feeling good. I recommend them. 8 out of 10. I don't really use these very often, but I do recommend them. They're good. But I mean, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, you probably don't need to get these immediately. And then, okay, this is some of the fun stuff that I have. I have liquid chalk. Now this, it's not liquid anymore. I don't use this as often. This was my first thing into chalk, because you don't want to carry around a bag of chalk. So I was thinking, all right, liquid chalk, that's a good thing. It leaves a residue around. It does great. You pop it on, you're going. I love it for grip. If you don't want to always use straps, you can use chalk or a chalk alternative, and it will help you to build grip strength without having, hyperhidrosis, which is sweaty hands. I kind of run into that. It keeps you from being limited by that. So I really like this liquid chalk, but what I like more than that is this is kind of melted. This is Chalkless Chalk. It's radically engineered grip enhancer. This is silica, straight silica, and it covers you with a dust, and it leaves no residue on your hands, but it works pretty much the same as liquid chalk or regular chalk. And it really helps with specific lifts, especially lifts where your grip is limited, or you're just having a hard time getting started and making progress on it, and you feel like you could be making way more progress on that muscle group if your grip wasn't in the way, but you still want to work on your grip. So you want to work on lat pull downs, and you want to work on your lats, but you don't want to use all straps, because then your grip won't really get any better unless you specifically train grip. So you find the in between, and you don't want to leave a residue. So you find the in between, and you get Chalkless Chalk, which doesn't leave a residue and helps you to build your grip strength while building strength in your primary muscle group. I recommend it, like almost a 10 out of 10. This I also got for Christmas because this is $70. This is a gym pin. Make sure you get the right diameter for your thing. I love this, but I don't use it very often because most of the cable exercises in my gym are weighted really heavily because it's a powerlifting gym. It's very important to have in specific gyms, that especially Planet Fitnesses or anything like this, you can stick it into the stack and throw plates on it. It doesn't work for all machines, so you have to check it with your gym, but I love it for loading certain exercises more, say leg extensions usually, or there are other things, or just a cable stack and throwing more on it. I like to do it for rope face pulls, because for some reason I really need to load those heavy for me to feel them. So I love it. I would not get the 3-inch, I'd get the 6-inch. I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll hit stuff. Just get the 6-inch, and then you don't have to have two. But it's like 70 bucks and then $80 for the 6-inch. It's worth it because it's built very well, but you don't need to get this whenever you start, that's for sure. But it is nice. I also have, here we have wrist wraps. So I was talking about elbow wraps, how you don't really need them, and knee wraps, how you don't really need them. These don't overinflate your numbers, and they protect your wrists. So whenever I was doing a lot of benching, I was using these and elbow sleeves. So my wrists started to really fall apart because I was always doing this and like that. So I'm always pressing through this and pushing this back, which can cause a lot of irritation in the wrist. And these are great, and I recommend these for specific lifts and supporting you, but I became over-reliant on these as well. You really have to watch how you use these supporting, like just all these different things that I have that support you in the gym, because if you use them too often, then you can't go without them, and then you're worse off, because what are you going to tell your grandma? You're helping your grandma move a washing machine, and you're like, let me go throw my knee sleeves on. No. I mean, we always talk about functional strength and stuff like that. You don't actually have to do functional lifts in the gym to get functional strength, but if you're over-reliant on equipment, it can cause you to hurt more. My wrist never hurt more than whenever I was using these all the time. Cause you to hurt more, and it'll cause you to become more reliant on things that you don't need. So if you can lift raw and not impact, progress in that specific lift, then go for it. I mean, I love these. I give them another 8 out of 10. I love almost everything in my bag. All right, these have a very specific use case, smelling salts. I have pretty much never used them for a lift. I only use them to be like, yo bro, you wanna smell these smelling salts? And then we're sniffing smelling salts in the middle of middle of the day for no reason whatsoever. Like, let's see who can cry the least, or like, let's Rocky take a hit. Whew. So it'll wake you up, you know, if you're tired in class. It's good to have just because it's fun. But these are reserved purely for advanced lifters, and I don't even think advanced lifters really use them. Maybe advanced power lifters at a meet, but past that point, I would not buy these. They're fun. If you have an extra 15 bucks, buy them because they're fun if you want to, but don't expect to get a whole lot out of them or, you know, really increase specific lifts. They're just more fun than they are functional for bodybuilding, especially, and even powerlifting most of the time. All right, okay, this is a fun thing. This is not necessary whatsoever. Just a fun thing, got it for Christmas. A lot of the things I get that I get for Christmas. This is the Boxbollen. I saw the goat. Oh man, what's his name? He's blanking on me. Who's the goat? Well, my favorite fighter is GSP. Oh, and the goat is John Bones Jones. All right, we're not going to talk about his legacy. I think his legacy is terrible, and he has made a fool of himself, and he's a wife beater, and he takes PEDs, but nonetheless, greatest fighter to ever live. What he's doing now is irritating me, but I still think he was the most dominant. In his prime, he was the most dominant fighter ever. GSP is my favorite fighter, George St. Pierre, if you're not familiar. Favorite fighter, just because he's a stand-up guy, love him, fight IQ, things like that. No reason for me to get sidetracked. Boxbollen, that's fun. It's only 20 bucks. That's fun because it trains hand-eye coordination. Just kind of fun to boo, 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 boo. You don't need it. It's just fun. And if you're in the gym and you're hanging out with your buddies, you're like, check this out. Like, that's the only real need in the gym for it. It's just in my gym bag because it's the best place to put it. Okay, we're running out of things. We have, these are drop set pins. Hold them up close. They go into a sack and they sit in like this. And then whenever you lift, it holds it in. And then once you set the weight down, it shoots itself out and lowers the weight. I have 2 of these. I used to use these a lot for very specific lifts, but I have fallen away from the life of doing drop sets because it's not particularly optimal. I really can't recommend these. I think they're fun. Doing drop sets on leg extensions is fun because it hurts more, but it is definitely not necessary, and probably not even beneficial whatsoever. But I do have them because I bought them and they're like $25. I would not recommend these for especially a newcomer, but if you want to test out different things to see how it affects, you know, strength development and muscle building, it's always fun to try these things out because a lot of things, it can change person to person. If you find growth, then chase the growth. There's no reason to not, just because everybody tells you not to. Especially if you have fun with it. All right, I think my last thing. Oh no, I still have like one more. Biofreeze. This is ancient. I don't even know if this. No, it still works. Okay. Biofreeze is good if you're running into specific injuries and you kind of just want. This is more of a rehab type thing, or like you're after the gym, but you can do it. You can do it in the gym if you're really running into a lot of pain. You're sick of pain holding you back. I would not recommend relying on this, but it is fun to have. It's good to have. I enjoy having this every once in a while, but I probably have not used this in a year. So more of a rare occasion. And then one thing I definitely recommend is to have a backup water. In these summer months, backup waters that have been sitting in your car get extremely hot. And so this is filled with BPAs, phthalates, microplastics, whatever it may be. And if you pop it open whenever it's hot, it will have steam and it will burn you, but at least you're staying hydrated. So it's good to have. I would recommend. It's cheap. You know, being dehydrated in the gym is not good for performance whatsoever. So I would recommend having one. In the winter months, it's way better. You know, some gyms have water fountains. My gym does not. And so it's good to have as a backup and keep you hydrated so you're not all the time in the gym. It'll keep you together. And I think, oh well, I have one more thing. So currently, you're watching this video on a tripod. For the regular Joe Schmo, do not get a tripod. I found this one, I was given to me a long time ago. I randomly pulled it out because I'm an influencer now, but whatever it may be. I do like having a tripod. I think it's important to record your sets every once in a while in order to track your progress and track your form, because unless you have a buddy who's watching your form and seeing the bar path, it is important to watch your sets, see how fast they're moving, see if you look weird from the outside, because sometimes you don't notice your form's off until you see it from the outside. So it is important to record your sets. Tripod, I don't even use this in the gym unless I'm by myself because it feels so nerdy. So it can be tough getting into the whole tripod game. I would get maybe a magnetic phone holder or something like that, or just set your phone up somewhere to watch your sets. You don't have to do it very often, but just every once in a while to see how your form is progressing, see all that. It will keep you honest whenever you're doing these things, so you don't just progress and progress and progress, and instead of actually getting stronger, your form is just getting worse, because that is no way to make progress. So I do recommend it, but tripod's probably not necessary. Just set your phone up. And let's do one last check, but I think we have covered everything in my gym bag. Yeah, of course, I have a phone. I have my phone on me. I keep my keys and my wallet on me and Chapstick on me, but those aren't in my gym bag. And I do take out other supplements, but those don't stay in my gym bag. So most of the stuff you don't exactly need. I would get, if I was starting out in the gym, I would get headphones. And then you can rock off headphones for a year probably without needing anything else. Maybe 6 months, and then I would get knee sleeves and straps, Versagrips maybe. And then, well, I would get deodorant as well first, get that, yeah. And I would get a belt, and then I would get, later on down the line, I would get maybe the gym pin and then some chalk as well. So these things fall in order of precedence. I've been lifting for 5 years, slowly get things, primarily just because it's fun to get things and with the thing that you're really into, but most of the stuff is not necessary whatsoever. And the most important thing is just getting in the gym and doing it. That's pretty much all that matters. You don't have to have anything specific or special. It's just get in and do it. One quick note is I don't have them in my gym bag because my gym has them, but cuffs, I love to use cuffs. Get your hand out of the equation whenever you're doing lifts. Cuffs around here connects to a cable machine, do tricep extensions, you can do lateral raises, reverse, rear delt extensions, whatever you may want to call it. I would recommend them if your gym does not have them. Planet Fitness usually does not. My gym does. My campus gym does as well. So you can definitely find gyms that have them. But if your gym doesn't, definitely get them. But with that, just stay lifting, stay healthy, have fun with it. Make progress, eat good. That's really important. But just have fun with it and keep on keeping on. Let's go, baby.